Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and again, as always, a nice varied drop for you guys. We have some really interesting and very awesome vintage to some modern, some affordable modern, some not so affordable modern, some hype pieces as they're called. We're going to be taking a look at it all today. And first of all, I want to thank every single one of you again for another fantastic week. You guys and girls are sending so many watches for sale. It is incredible, to the point where we're almost done for August, as in our drops are already planned, prepared and photographed, which is an insane position to be in, and also one I'm really grateful for, so thank you. And thank you for all of the good luck wishes and well done and congratulations on the new office. I'm super excited to get the work going. Right now it's just busy with getting everything sorted. So this month I do apologize if there are any delays in responses or emails. Please be patient, there is a lot going on behind the scenes that you do not see. So I'm going to do my best to obviously keep on top of everything, as I always do, but I apologise if I'm a little bit slow. And on that point of having watches till the end of August, obviously if you're looking for a specific watch, do get in contact. We are constantly sourcing watches for people behind the scenes, but we have a lot of watches ready. So do make sure you're following on Instagram. On our profile, super simple, there is a highlights reel called Coming Soon. And in that you will see all the watches that are coming soon. We list them all out, all the information, everything like that. Just message if you are interested. Get in there before they come to the website, basically. So it's the best chance of getting it early. And before we dive into what's on the table, let's have a look at what's on wrist. So to celebrate everything going on, and also just because I want an excuse to buy this, I've bought myself a 1975 King Quartz Seiko. Really stunning. It has the texture throughout the bracelet, the case and the dial. And the dial is this vibrant blue. It's not perfect, there's a couple of marks, but I'm really happy with it. And from my own collection, you'll see a piece in here actually that's from my collection, some more that's coming in the next few drops. But what sticks around in my personal collection seems to be the funky 1970s, or at least an unusual case shape. So I'm starting to try and understand my own collecting habits more and sort of buy what I know I'm going to keep longer. Okay, now that that is all done and out the way, we're going to have to start with the brand new 36mm Explorer. So starting off with the brand new Explorer. For those of you who keep a close eye on everything, you'll know we last week posted a 36mm 114270, which was the final 36mm Explorer before they discontinued it and released the 39. Well, this is the latest of the Explorers, the 124270, that's the reference, and this is an unworn brand new example. See, it's still got the bezel protector on, which is this new style plastic. It does come with its full box and paperwork, and as I said, is unworn. Now, it is signed May 2021, so it has been sat in a safe for a couple of months, and that is why it is more affordable than the one we had before. So we had a brand new July example, which was £200 more expensive than this one, and that one flew out pretty much immediately. So if you are interested, I would not hang about, because it's crazy really when you look at where retail is and where the asking prices of these are. But let me say this, I think in the grand scheme of Rolex, there is a lot of value in this watch. Retail prices are almost a myth now. I mean, if you can get one at retail, well done. I congratulate you, and I say you should definitely get one at retail. But for most of us out there, we're not going to be able to get one at retail. We haven't got 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds to spend on other stuff just to get our name down for an Explorer, right? So unfortunately, the grey market prices, as they're often called, is really the new sale prices. That is the price these watches are. Because you just can't get them at retail. So that's my take on it. You know, pay what you want to pay. If you're not willing to pay what the prices are, then try and build a relationship with your AD. And all I'll say is good luck to you. Don't be fooled into buying 20, 30,000 pounds worth of diamonds just so you can get your name down. Don't play that game, in my opinion. But then again, I have one of these for sale, so you could say I am biased. But at the end of the day, I say do what you wish to do. Inside here is the automatic Rolex caliber 3230, which is a new and upgraded movement, high power reserve, just an overall better movement, and the case and bracelet is stunning. I really like the clasp, but at the end of the day, this is what modern Rolex is all about. And I've been asked a lot, what would I prefer, the old 36 or the new 36? Personally, I'd probably go for the old 36 just out of nostalgia. But in terms of build quality and reliability and just not having to worry, this is the perfect watch. There is no doubt about it. But let's show on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. You can see it is beautifully proportioned. I think it just looks fantastic. But then again, the 36mm always has. So it's 36mm by 43mm, 11.5mm thick, and 19mm lugs, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. There are plenty of options now for 19mm lugs, so don't worry about it. But really great watch. Absolutely stunning, but it's not surprising that it's stunning because, you know, the DNA it comes from. But go check it out on the website. From one brand new watch to another, let's have a look at this really cool Tudor Black Bay Bronze. Next up, we have the new. This is the Tudor Bronze. So a lot of you know I'm not the biggest fan of bronze watches personally. I've had them in my collection, I've enjoyed them. I do think it's a bit of a fading fad. Now let me clarify on that because I've said that before as well. What I mean by that is I think brands are going to probably stop doing so much bronze. That's my personal opinion. But what that means for the bronze that are already out is they could increase in collectability. Is that, you know, guaranteed? Of course not. Nothing is guaranteed. No one has a crystal ball, and everything we say is just based on what we think will happen. That's my sort of take. I don't think bronze is going to stay, and I think it is going to be one of those things we look back on and go, do you remember when they did bronze watches? And then the prices of these are going to be relatively high. That's my thought. So this is the all-new Tudor Black Bay Bronze, reference 79012M, and this is from a July 2021, so pretty much brand new. It is an unworn example. Obviously, because it is bronze, it is starting to oxidate already. A few people have said you should wear gloves, but at the end of the day, you know, it's going to develop patina, it's going to oxidate, even if it just sits in the box. So you just got to accept it. If you don't like that in a bronze watch, don't get a bronze watch, am I right? So inside here is the automatic Tudor MT5400. Now, this watch has a few very cool additions. Look at that clasp. You can tell this is a new Tudor clasp, and I cannot wait until they bring this out within the Tudor lineup in general. It has a pretty much sliding glide lock to allow you to adjust on the fly. Super easy to use, very similar to the Rolex, not quite as much. Quite a few people have commented on the size of it, that it's not, you know, enough. I disagree. I think that is more than enough for fluctuation during the day. If you fluctuate more than that, I think you, I don't know. I mean, that's quite crazy if you fluctuate more than that in the heat or cold. But hey, you can see, still got a sticker on the back, still got everything with it, full box paperwork, and thank you Tudor for bringing back the addition of a NATO strap, so well done. Personally, I don't know how this is all going to age. You know, the fact it's a bronze bracelet. A couple of brands have done it, Oris have done it. It's interesting. I'm interested to see, but I think overall the design and the color combination is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think it just looks brilliant. But let's show on wrist and tall dimensions. And here we go on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. This case is perfect. There is no denying that. 39mm by 47.5mm, only 12mm thick, and 20mm lugs. Thank you Tudor for keeping it nice and easy. This is going to be a strap monster. I would personally wear it on a strap. I think a smaller size bronze is awesome because I love that dial color. I would love to see that on a steel watch personally. But really, really gorgeous, beautiful in the light, and super comfortable. That bracelet is fantastic. I can't wait for him to bring it into the steel range. But go check this one out and skip the queues. Let's stick along this route and go over to the Bremont Airco Mac 3. Now, what is arguably one of the most comfortable Bremonts on the market, in my opinion. This is the Bremont Airco Mac 3 in blue. Really, really stunning. And this one is from March 2021. It does come with its full box and papers. You can see the strap has got some wear to it, but overall the watch and the case and condition is all fantastic. You have a screw down crown, you have an exhibition case back, which is nice. There's basically a heavily modified ETA or Solita. They call it the Bremont BE-92AE because why not? So the thing with the Bremonts are the triptych cases. That's their sort of patented design. You'll have to excuse all the noise. Bloody Clerkenwell. So back to what I was saying, triptych design. Jesus, that's a mouthful. So you have the case back, you have the middle case, and then you have the front of the case with the lugs attached. These three pieces come together, and that center case has a lot of resistance to a lot of things. You can read it on their website for all the more details, going into much more detail than I ever will. But it's a very unique case design. These were made in Silverstone. I believe they're now made in their new factory that they've built, which is really cool. I think they call it the Townhouse. I could be wrong, but Bremont are doing some very interesting things, and they're definitely a brand to keep an eye on. All their watches are Chronometer certified, so this does come with its Chronometer certificate, and it's just an overall really nice design. I've called this arguably the most comfortable Bremont that they make, and the reason being is the case shape, design and size is all perfect on the wrist. Now Bremont are quite known for making very big watches, let's just say that. They wear big and they are big, and you know, for bigger wristed people, which is often the people buying and wearing Bremont, it is completely fine and they look awesome. But for people with wrist sizes like mine, it can be quite tricky. But let's show this one on wrist and you'll see what I mean. And here we go on my wrist. You can see it looks at home on my wrist. This is a 40mm by 49mm, 11.5mm thick and 20mm lugs. Perfectly proportioned, right under that 50mm lug to lug I always go on about. Nice screw down crown. It's just a really good looking watch. Like, this is one of Bremont's nicest looking watches in my opinion, along with the S300 or 301. I think they're just fantastic, and whilst I don't think I'm ever going to have a Bremont in the personal collection. If I was, it would definitely be one of these. And the great thing is, like this one, it can be had for a bargain under retail, and that's where I think the value in Bremonts really is. Personally, I don't think you should buy them at retail unless you're getting a big discount, or buy them pre-owned like this and save yourself a ton of money. Now let's go to a vintage, and a really stunning vintage at that. It is a double-signed IWC Turler. Does it get much better? I think not. This is probably one of the nicest vintage IWCs we've had in a while. Obviously, we've got the Engineer, which is absolutely stunning, but a completely different breed in terms of like a dressy style, or Calatrava style as they're often called. This is incredible. This is a really, really stunning IWC automatic Turler signed. Now, what does that mean? Right there, you see under the name and everything, you can see it says Turler. Back in the day, retailers, and still today, with certain retailers, would sign their watches. It was almost a sign of prestige for you to be able to say where you bought your watch from. For those of us who know sort of auction houses now, that's not a new concept. People often want to show where they got their watches from. But also, it was to sort of say, it was almost like a stamp from the retailers to say, like, we approve of this watch. And that was a big deal back then, because at the end of the day, these brands, whilst known, it was a completely different time. You didn't have the internet to be able to read up on things. Like, you had to trust who you were buying from. And that is why these brands used to do stuff like this. But you can see the dial, it's got this stepped, almost pipe hand dial, really beautiful indices, really beautiful original loom in the hands and the dial, Swiss stated down there, and a date. And the case is where this watch really shines as well. Look at the condition. Now this has been professionally polished at some point, as you can see, but it is in beautiful condition. It is fresh from service as well. And inside this movement is a automatic IWC caliber 8531. Now, you IWC nerds out there will know that that is an infamous movement used in the original Engineer, the 222, and you know, it's just well regarded within the watch world, and rightfully so. It's a beautiful and very reliable movement. You see you've got the fish crown, which is the IWC logo crown, beautiful lugs. This is just overall stunning, and it's from circa 1957. I mean, the fact it still looks this good is incredible. But let's show on wrist and talk dimensions. Now, there you go. Now, whilst only, and I say only, there you go, only 34mm, this wears beautifully. I think 34 is a sweet spot when it's done this well. So 34mm by 42mm lug to lug, 12mm thick and 18mm lugs. We paired it on this really nice suede, but I think it just looks absolutely gorgeous and well worth checking out and having a closer look at those macros. Let's stick to vintage for a while. Let's have a look at one that I'm going to be sad to see go out of the personal collection, but needs must. It is a stunning Mido. So as I said, one from the personal collection that I am going to be sad to see go. Now, this did come for sale, and then I quickly removed it because I wanted to keep it, and I did buy it in a stock initially. That was quite a while ago. It's been in the collection for quite some time. It's one of the nicest examples I've seen. It is just stunning, and you know, when we start talking more about it, you'll understand why. So this is a Mido power multi-4 power wind with the rare dial. You can see the dial has got that incredible texture to it. I don't know if that's picking up in the video. Apologies if it's not. Do check out the macros. You've got a really gorgeous applied Mido logo, those dagger or sword or whatever you want to call them indices which go with the pattern. It's just stunning, and the size of this case as well is 37.5mm, which for the 1950s is insane. You've got a recessed signed Mido crown. A really nice case back with the writing still just about visible. At the end of the day, this is a worn vintage watch, as I said, from the 1950s. And inside here is a automatic Mido caliber 917P, which is a really beautiful movement. You can see in between the lugs, you've got the reference right there, which is 3906. And yeah, just really, really gorgeous. I don't really know what else to say about this watch because I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm going to be very sad to see it go, that's the honest truth, because I really love this watch. But I have another very rare Mido I was going to sell, but thanks to a very good customer, that is no longer the case. I am keeping that watch. Thank you, Steve. You know who you are and why, but I can't keep two at the end of the day. I just don't think it makes sense, especially because it doesn't get much wrist time anymore with my more wacky pieces that I often wear. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. So here we go. This has incredible wrist presence for a vintage watch. 37.5mm by 45mm lug to lug, only 10mm thick and 18mm lugs. It wears beautifully. I've paired it on this really nice dark brown, burgundy red vintage style leather strap. At the end of the day, at 18mm you have endless options, but a really gorgeous piece nonetheless. Go check it out on the website. From there to 1970s awesomeness, you know, compared to what I'm wearing as well, it is a really cool Amiga dynamic. It is no secret I love Amiga and I love 1970s design, and this combines the two perfectly. I have a really interesting dynamic chronostop Geneve in my personal collection, which is why I don't own one of these, but if I didn't have that, I would have probably this one in my collection because it is stunning and I would totally wear it. So this is an Amiga Geneve dynamic blue on strap, as you can see. So you've got that really cool racing blue ring with the big pronounced lines. You've got that striking blue second hand. You've got those really beautiful loomed hands as well. You can still see remnants of the original finish on the case. They have these like bold lines, really, really cool. Amiga sign crown, and you can see we've paired it on a blue reproduction strap. So this isn't an original Amiga strap, it is a reproduction. They're fantastic because they fit. They do leave a little bit of protrusion, but only a little bit, and at the end of the day that's okay. But it is paired on a original Amiga buckle, so that's nice to see as well. Really gorgeous design, really gorgeous condition. These are monocoque, meaning you can't go through the back to get to the movement. You have to go through the front. You have to take the crystal out and go through the dial, basically taking the dial out. So the reference of this one is 135.033, and inside here is the manually wound Amiga caliber 613. So this isn't an automatic, this is a manually wound dynamic. They did a few different ones, and it's from circa 1968. Which is awesome. So let's try it on wrist and talk dimensions. And this is where this watch shines for me. I think that looks so freaking cool. In a world where all the watches kind of look similar, this is awesome. So let's talk dimensions. 41 by 36mm, 11.5mm thick and 24mm lugs. Obviously the lugs you can't just put a normal strap on, so that is where 24 starts and it tapers down a lot. But a really gorgeous design, really gorgeous size, super comfortable on wrist, and well worth checking out. If you've never owned a dynamic, you should at least try them out. Now back to modern for the final two pieces. We have an unworn Christopher Ward bronze. Let's have a look. Here we go. So as I said with the previous Tudor bronze, I'm not the biggest bronze fan, but again, this one is super surprising. I love that dial. I mean, look at that. It's a scratched dial, so they force scratch it to make it look all patinaed, basically. And it's called the Ombre. So this is a Christopher Ward C65 Trident Bronze Ombre Chronometer. This was a limited edition watch, and it sold out pretty much immediately. So inside here is the automatic Solita SW200, and it is chronometer certified, as I said. You can see it comes on its original strap, original bronze buckle, and it's just a really gorgeous design. Very nice bezel, very nice dial, hands, everything like that. And the case shape on these are fantastic, super thin, because the way they sort of elongate it out, I don't know how to explain it, but they just do a really great job. The bronze color is really nice and warm, which goes with that dial perfectly. So this one is from September 2020, and it does come with its full box and paperwork. The actual reference is super long. You can see it on the website if you are interested. But let's try on wrist and talk dimensions. There we go. This watch is super comfortable. 41mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 11.5mm thick and 22mm lugs. Endless options. I would, however, always recommend with Christopher Ward's a Christopher Ward strap, which might surprise you, but their straps are fantastic. Highly recommend them for the money. So go check this one out on the website if you're interested in a fun bronze watch for a pretty good price. And last but certainly not least, another Christopher Ward, this time a Pepsi Gmt. And here we go with the Christopher Ward GMT. So this is the C65 Trident Gmt Pepsi, and you know why it's called the Pepsi. You got the blue and you got the red, you got the bold red GMT hand, the really nice clean black dial. It's a really good looking watch, this is, and I think it just works really well. Obviously cues are taken from the Rolex GMT Master, but then that goes all the way down the line, all the way back with other brands that did it first, and so on and so on. It's a constant debate. You can see still got the sticker on the back, nice strap, original strap, buckle, all that sort of stuff. Doesn't come on the bracelet, it does come on its black leather, but either way, a really gorgeous design. Now this one is from circa 2019. It does come with its box and booklets and everything other than the little guarantee card. Unfortunately, the original owner has lost that at some point, which is a shame, but either way, you know, you've still got everything else. Just a really nice, good looking watch. There's not an awful lot to say about these. I think they're incredible value for money, especially this one. So let's have a look on wrist. Oh, inside is automatic Solita SW330 as well, but let's show on wrist. And here we go. So same dimensions as the bronze, 41.5 by 47 mil, 11.5 mil thick, and 22 mil lugs. Super comfortable and super nice. Go check it out. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. It may seem like it looks smaller, you know, only 8 pieces on the table. There were about 10, but some have sold. So I'm trying to actually reduce the amount that go on the website, because when it's 12 or 13, the videos end up really long and it just ends up too many watches to sort of keep track of. Whereas if I can keep it somewhere between 6 and 10, I think that's a nice sort of drop size. Let me know down in the comments what you think. What is your preferred style? Do you think the Saturdays are a good thing, or do you think we should just release the watches as they come in? What is your thoughts and opinions? Let me know, because at the end of the day, we do want to improve on things. If you think there's a better way for things to be done, I'm open to feedback and anything like that, so do let me know your thoughts and opinions. But yes, keep an eye out on Instagram. That is the most important thing. That's where we post a lot. It's the only social media we really use, obviously YouTube as well, but that's sort of where everything goes. And keep an eye out for any updates on the new office. We are working hard on it. We're getting plans and 3D renders done as we speak, and furniture is already on its way. So we're getting very real with it. It's terrifying, but also super exciting all at the same time. And I cannot wait for it to be open and to have you guys and girls in there, you know, sitting on our nice sofa with a nice hot drink or cold beverage in your hand. So keep an eye out. Anyway, that is it, and we will see you all again next time. Sorry, I just knocked the mic, but oh well, we've done it now. See you all again. Take care.